This is gonna take a little imagination. But what if an aging hoopster wanted to play college ball and make some money thanks to new name, image, likeness rules? I might start by setting up an Opendorse account.
So from here,
Student athlete, that's a stretch. Okay, we'll go with that. All right.
you might have some eligibility
Okay.
left. So let's go ahead and click profile details. So this is where you can start to fill in that information about yourself.
Opendorse is a technology company that helps athletes make money.
Maybe not me. More for athletes like fortunately named football player DeColdest Crawford.
Take it from the coldest. We will keep you cool this summer.
Opendorse created a platform and services to help make this happen for Crawford and many others, because individuals and businesses can now hire college athletes for lots of things, big and small. Ads, appearances, autographs, birthday greetings, social media posts.
Athlete pulls out their phone, it says, this entity would like to pay you this amount to do this thing. There's a green button and there's a gray button. If you hit the green button, you make money. And that's as simple as we could ever make it.
There's management and tracking of the deal from start to finish, plus tax help and financial education. Important for some athletes who've never even had a bank account before.
And that's important to be simple because athletes have a lot of other things going on in their lives.
Now let's learn a little bit about you.
About me.
So this is where you can get creative. Most times this takes a little while. You want to put a lot of thought into it.
We obviously like food. I like entertainment, arts and culture. Okay, there's a few things to start with. So I can count to 100 in Japanese, but I don't think that's going to get me anything. So
Next, you can fill out some of your athletic information. You're a point guard, shooting guard.
it's kind of a small forward. We'll just leave it at that. Wasn't on the court long enough to really have a position. So
Opendorse started long before NIL. Husker defensive back Prince Amukamara was a first-round NFL draft pick with lots of marketing value and lots of questions about getting and managing endorsements. He turned to a couple football friends who had just started a social media marketing company called Herdat.
He said, I'll just come out here and be my agent. I said, Prince, I'm not going to be your agent. I'm not going to build an agency, but we will build an app, right? That can answer these questions you have. How much am I worth? How do I make money? Like, do what I have to do. And that app became Opendorse.
The side project became a new business. Lawrence and Kanalik sold Herdat and grew Opendorse. They added employees and athletes, developed relationships with pro sports player associations. No one else was doing what they were doing, which put Opendorse in a good place when the NCAA wanted to change rules for college athletes.
So we were brought into the group that helped, lay the path that would turn into the name, image, and likeness monetization rights going to every student athlete in the NCAA.
It was a special moment because here's the thing. They were asking for guidance on something that we had been doing at that time, for 6-7 years already.
Now, 90% of their revenue comes from helping college athletes.
If you go to payments, this is where you can attach your bank information, again, similar to Venmo. And then you can also fill out a W-9. This is where athletes can go in, see their rate cards, see their estimates for different pricing on everything.
I think the best bet for me is going to be the pitch me anything, because I will do whatever. And my starting price is probably going to be, is that too low?
$10 is our minimum. So.
Okay, I'll do whatever.
Perfect.
For $10. So.
Here's the Opendorse business model. They don't make any money from the people who make money using it. Schools pay subscriptions for Opendorse products to help their athletes and track NIL activity. Those buying services from an athlete pay a small transaction fee. Nothing is taken out of whatever the athlete earns. With $40 million of venture capital investment so far, Opendorse is often called one of, if not the major player in this fast-growing industry.
If we are successful, that means that athletes are successful 10 times over, and that's ultimately why we started the company.
NIL changed the college sports landscape. Critics wonder if it's too much, too fast. Kanalik and Lawrence say typical deals are small, helping big stars, but also small sport, small school athletes take advantage of that brief time when their name, image, and likeness has value.
The athlete needs to be empowered to realize that this moment in time of this influence is fleeting. And we know that all too well.
All we're doing really is accelerating how quickly somebody has to understand how to treat themselves as a business, which they would have to do once they graduate anyways.
So when you guys met, was there any thought that was like, yeah, someday we're going to start businesses together?
If you would be a fly on the wall in our dorm room back at Nebraska, you'd say these guys are going to create something together.
Am I ready?
I think you're ready. Let's go ahead and see what your profile looks like.
That's stunning.
There we go. You got all your pictures up at the top. You got all of your activities that you're willing to do, all of your information about yourself. I mean, there's got to be a company out there that really wants someone who's never missed a shot, right?
So who would it be?
That's for you to find out.